First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Looking to throw Trubisky on first down. And he finds Montgomery complete. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pick. For 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 30-yard line.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. Short throw taken in by the tight end O'Leary. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. On 2nd down now, it's Grant. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches.
Bravo!
Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Gostkowski now converted for 3. Now he'll kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the gun, here's Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. A first carry now. This is Johnson. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Here's Stafford. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset. Draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
On 2nd and 10, Trubisky. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack. Well, it was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long.
Let's make these babies cry. Hey, Mike 51.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. This is brought in at the 21. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Lions, first down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Out of the gun, Stafford. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
First down. First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go, D. Get up. Look at him.
From the red zone now, Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions have taken the lead.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. And racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you... called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well.
else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Trubisky to throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Mike 51. Watch the slant. Go. 51 to Mike. 51 to Mike. Defense wins championship.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. It's complete to Graham. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
The stretch it right there turned it into a really nice game. Trubisky will throw. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
I'm coming after you.
Again, it's Trubisky. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this run. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bilal Nichols able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And now the throw here is incomplete, and with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. 10-7 our score after one, right here on EA Sports.
Set. 260.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw is Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. A good pickup there, a 22.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number one receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
On first and 10, Stafford. This complete to Jones. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. So first and 10 now from the 30. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Looking to throw on second down. Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 15-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Stafford now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a first and 10. Now a give right side. Weber, and he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Mike Weber, his second touchdown on the Season. And the Lions are going to jump back in front. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A huge play there for Chicago. 44 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Trubisky. And this is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Grant. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now it's Trubisky. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. That's fielded in the end zone.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Play action. It's Trubisky. Being chased out left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
On 2nd down, it's Grant. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Motion. Move. 58, echo. All right, T, let's go. All right, get up.
On 3rd down, Trubisky gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears 1st down.
Let's go.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll run on 1st down. Grant. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
He was brought down by Darius Slay. A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and
2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, Trubisky. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive? And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Bobby Wagner, the former 2nd rounder out of Utah State, with a sack. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Now Stafford. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Check. Watch 54.
On the ground, this is Johnson. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And now the clock reads precisely 1 minute to go in the half. You want to run the 1 minute offense? This is a good test right here.
It certainly is, and definitely not a time to think about kneeling and going into the half. This is a chance to attack a little bit, but not having to get everything in one shot either. 10 yards here, 15 there. Work the sidelines, work the clock. Give yourself a chance for at least a field goal going into the half.
Going up top for Miller. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28. A gain of 3, second down. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Oh, design run for their wideout. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, it's Johnson. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They go to Johnson again. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try the air now with Stafford. He's got a man. It's his fullback. It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it a second down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing is Stafford. Going for it all. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
This is Johnson. He's got it. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside.
Set! Go 20! So don't say nothing.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Set up! 180!
Now Trubisky. Going deep this time for Miller. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one down the line of scrimmage.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
First and goal at the 8-yard line.
Set! 280! White. 954. Here we go, here we go.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is 3rd and goal. From the gun, here's Stafford. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. T.J. Hockenson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They will run with Grant.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
180. Watch the screen. Pass.
3rd and 2. Now Trubisky. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Well, his struggles continue. Open targets, and he keeps missing them, pressing way too much. He may have a big arm, but until he learns how to harness it and have some touch, he's going to continue to struggle.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is taken at the 18. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Johnson running right. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they had 3 tight ends in on that set.
And these guys are punching really well. I use boxing analogies a lot. A lot of coaches have told me that when you line up to run the football, it's 10 fistfights along the line of scrimmage, right? You've got to win your share. These 3 tight ends, they almost always win their fistfights.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. They were looking for Johnson that time. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a give right side. It's Grant. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
the mic. I know he ain't got it.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Trubisky. He's looking deep for Bell. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. And a big loss here as he's taken down. It's John Simon with a sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the third quarter. Back now at Ford Field. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Detroit. Here comes Grant on the return. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Chicago! That'll go down as an 84-yard punt return as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter.
I can't help it, Parker. You know me. When I see a punt return for a touchdown, my excitement really jumps up a few levels. And now, I think it's got to be decision time because we are in the 4th quarter. Go for 2 or just kick the PAT?
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hockenson, and it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Jones has it. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Check nine. Lock in.
Play action. Now Trubisky. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
And 10 yards to go.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 10.
51 to Mike. 51. Alert. Strip that ball.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Caught here by Bell. And they finally get him down at the other 46. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 41 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, alert. Hey, team 6.
Trubisky to throw again. This is caught by Robinson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Lock in.
This is Grant. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. They go back to Grant. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That good for 19 and a first down.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Corey Grant with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Bears have once again taken the lead. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They're going to try and run. And he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown as it'll remain a 5-point ball game. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away.
Here we go.
Take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Stafford now to throw. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 45-yard line. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Bilal Nichols in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Got the screen. Spawn.
They'll keep it on the ground. Grant. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's Trubisky. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No first down.
Fielded just inside the 30.
Let's go,
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They'll look to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you describe that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
That last catch winds up costing him 3, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd and 13. Now Stafford. He's going to let it fly. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Tie it right. 3 out.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Eddie Goldman with a sack. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down.
Come on. 180. 51. That's the pass.
The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but they were able to get the job done, and that's the bottom line.
No doubt about it. And let's face it, they had to be more than nervous in the 4th quarter. But a lot of that was their own doing. I think you observed during the game, their energy level just didn't seem to be there. But in the 4th quarter, somehow they dug deep and found that extra bit, right, that reserve.